Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we're going to take a look at TNR-E by Yamaha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically show you how to set this up and get started and save stuff. It's a little convoluted. Their file system is complex. The program is very deep. So I thought this could do with just a basic getting started and setting up tutorial. Okay, so first of all, you see we have this display here. This is a block. Okay, and what you can see here is one layer of a block. You can have up to 16 layers in one block. Okay, so and it allows you to play the actual notes and stuff in various different ways. So down here, I don't know if you can see, I hope you can, it says TNR-i, which is the hardware, the name for the hardware version. Now if you've got TNR-i, this works exactly the same. So you could, there's a few extra features in this, but we'll get to those. Okay, so this is basically we're looking at layer 2 and we're looking at block 3. So these here, the L and R controls, they're left and right. They do various things. So R5, for instance, lets us select a particular block. Well, we'll go back to block 1. So now we're on block 1, and this is layer 2, and layer 2 is a trans kit. So let's just start this and see what it sounds like. Now, once we're in trans kit, we can start to, by the way, you can't add notes while it's stopped. This is your play bar, basically. So this is where your loop is going to start from when you hit play. But once you see the time tracking along there, you can start to add notes. Okay? So that's how that works. Now, to select a sound for a particular layer, you'd want to go here. So L1, which is left 1, is the instrument. Okay? And we can see that it's trans kit. The instrument is trans kit. So say, for instance, okay, so you can change instruments basically by just touching buttons on the screen. Okay, so for instance, if I was to hold that there and hit 3, you'd see it would change the gate kit. We can hear that. Analog kit and back to trans kit. And there are various kits you can try. That's a user kit. Percussion. Bang. But we'll stick with trans kit for this. Okay, stop. Now there are different ways also as well to select your sound. So if we hit this here, we get to our menu system. Now this is where this gets quite complex. The play menu here is your basic overall settings for playing. So your master tempo, your scale, your master transpose, your master loop speed. So if we was to start playing and start altering things here, like the loop speed, for instance, okay. Now okay, so on master scale, which is Okinawa, we have various scales we can choose from here. There. Master transpose, now you're not going to hear that on the drums, obviously. Mute, swing, the different colours and the actual brightness of the app. Okay, so I don't want to get into too much stuff, but if you decide to get it, you know, read the manual, it's really helpful. Alright, so go back there. And then there's our layer menu. Now our layer menu is just refers to the layer that's working now. So for instance, the trans kit, which you can see there. Now you can set this up for playing your other instruments that you have, your other synthesizers and stuff that you have on your iPad. So you're not just limited, stop that a sec, you're not just limited to their sounds, you can actually choose from all of the ones that you've got on your iPad there to do virtual MIDI. But again, that's going into it. It's something once you understand this, you can easily do that for when you get the app. So there's animation type, that's the, you know, the little flashes on the screen stuff, the overall volume, play mode. Now, like I said earlier, you can play in various different ways. So at the moment, we've got layer 2 set to score mode. That means you enter notes like you just saw me do. And then there's random, which will randomize. And then there's draw, you can draw them in. And then there's bounce. Well, I'll show you a few of those as well later. Okay, so, sorry, let's just get back there. So that's your layer. That's your layer menu. And that's the important part. Now, if you wanted to change the sound and you wanted to see what's going on, that means 253 sounds, I think, you can choose from. And they're all new from the TNR-1. Oh, okay, so if we just hit that there, here's all our sounds there that correspond with the dots on the screen, but you don't need to do it like that. So down the bottom here, you can see that we have our drum kits, and you can see that my trance kit is highlighted there, and I can change this to like a dub kit, and then it would be the dub kit. We're going to stick with the trance kit for now. Okay, so that's how you can change sounds. You go into your layer menu, you see this, and this is why the menus are quite complex. Then there's the edit menu. Now this is important as well for when you want to start creating new things, or say for instance I wanted to copy this particular block and all its layers, or you can just copy this particular layer and paste it somewhere else, or clear this layer, or you can clear everything, which is something we'll get to as well. So for instance, if I wanted to copy just this block here, and then it lets me choose the destination, obviously up to the 16 other blocks, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing in block 4, so I'm going to copy that to block 4, and I can undo it as well if I want to. So once that's done, if we go down here to our R5, which is our block selection, you can see here, and if I selected block 5 for instance, block number right now, block number 4, layer 2, block number 4, there's nothing there, and I copied it to block 5 by the looks of it. Right, okay. But that's how you change. Now if I hold that and select block number 2, you'll hear there's some other stuff being added. So now we can see that that's our that's the way we can change. That's our loop speed. This is our sound length. Okay, that's like a gate. You can gate it, the release on a sound. And the loop point. Okay, so let's have a look at loop point for a start. So I know that we're on trance kit and score and block 2, and this is our loop point. So we can move our loop point for that particular layer. R1, now R1 is where we select our layers. So we can go to layer 3 there. It also tells you what type of play mode it's in. So layer 3 is a score, and you can go further up. Most of them are scores, and then you get to 11, which is random, and 12, which is random, and then 13, which is draw, and then bounce, and then push, and then I think solo would be the last one. Okay, so let's see. Now, as you see, I go through the layers. I'm going down. You can see the highlighted dots of what's playing in that particular layer. So I can see that there's a percussion kit there on this particular layer, so we could add some bits and pieces to that. So for instance, at this point now, we can say, well, okay, I want to save that. Well, if I was just to completely exit the program, it would auto-save anything that I'm working on now. But say, for instance, well, I wanna save this now as something else and start to work on something new. We hit our menu button here. You see, I'd selected destination number 5 for that, whereas number 4 is still empty, but destination number 5 has now got that little drum pattern in. So, for instance, let's go back here. Now, we need to go to our file menu here. And this is where this gets complicated. Okay, for the purposes of this and the basic getting started, what you need to do is select all blocks. Okay, now you'll see that the autosave there. If I load autosave now, then these new additions will disappear because it was the last time I switched on the app. That's what'll happen. So what I want to do now is not even touch any of these because I can't. See where it says Doug track there, if I go into the information section there and I say, oh well, I've got Doug track there, I can rename it, but if I try to hit rename there, it tells me that it already exists and I need to create a new file. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap the plus button, which is here, and I'm going to call this Doug track, and I'm going to call it Doug track 1, and I'm going to save it, and here it goes, Doug track 1. And now I'm going to just get rid of Doug track. That's fine. So for instance, let's see what happens now. If I hit the getting started and load, this is the thing that you get when it first boots up, sort of thing. I think that's probably something I messed with, but so let's go back to Doug track 1 and load, and you'll see that it's what we've been working with. And this got really confusing for some people because it's really, the menu is convoluted, but if you follow it that way, then you're going to have no problem whatsoever. Okay, so moving on here. Don't forget, once it's stopped, this is just your playhead. So different functions here. So we have R1. Now R1 is our layer, like I said. So this is how you go through the different layers, and you can see that most of them are empty. So I think I've just gone for the first 6 layers. So we could start to add more stuff to different layers. So for instance, layer number 7. So layer number 7, and still working in block 2. So let's go to block 4, which I know is empty. And layer number 7 is a dub axe. And let's see what that sounds like. So just let's start to play it. Now we know there's nothing in it, so we're going to hear nothing. So there's the dub axe sound. And like I said, we can now, once that's, let's just get this going all over so we can hear it. And let's go to our layer menu there and choose a better sound. There's all these different sounds we can choose from. And you can put chords in as well, just, you know. So there you go, you get the idea of how to select a sound for a layer. You can exit that now. And let's okay. Now what you can do is, if you're not happy with any of that, you can, you know, when you're in score mode, you can just add notes or hit clear and completely take the layer out and start again. So for instance, okay, well, let's say, well that's I like that, but I want this layer to be, let's see now. We know that this layer is a score. Now we can go into our layer menu and change this particular layer to any way we want. But let's go up to, let's see. Yeah, layer number, no, let's stick with that. Layer number 7, which is score. Let's just see. Yeah, we know that. Now let's go to our menu and let's go to our layer menu here. And where it says score, let's change this to random. And let's see what happens here. Now it's gone back to dub-ax there, so we want to, well, let's leave it on dub-ax and save going through the whole thing again and changing it and all the rest of it. So you can see what happens here. But if I put various bits and pieces, it will just bounce between those bits randomly and play the notes. So let's clear that. And let's see, let's go back into our menu and change that to draw and see what happens. So, I need to play. It's clear. Change that again. Clear. Clear. And let's see if we can change our, let's see if we want to change our thing to now to bounce. We can show you what happens. Again, it goes back to dub-ax, which is the default for that actual thing. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You can always change it to a sound you like. So there's the bounce. And let's go with push. Now, that won't record anything, so it's a live performance thing. You can record your performances, by the way. And we've got one more to look at there, which is solo. So there you go. So there's how there's how the different functions work. Okay, so for instance, we're going to go back to score for this, and we didn't need to put anything in because otherwise we'll just be here forever. So let's go back to our blocks. Now let's try block 3. So now you've got this playing. What we can do is, if you want to, you can zoom in. Now, double tap to hold the zoom, and then you'll just zoom in on it, and you can add bits. Okay. And tap it again to get out of it. And clear that layer because we're still on layer 7. Now we're going to take a look at the effects. Now the effects in this are great. They're really clever. And by the way, there are global effects as well, which I'll quickly show you actually. So going back to our menu system. Now here is the effect menu. Now you have two types of kind of global effect that you can use. Okay, you have like a reverb and a chorus type thing, and the chorus hasn't got no effect on it. So you have chorus 1, chorus 2 and flanges. Let's just try chorus 2 and then go back there. Let's play and add some they're the global effects. So you can have global reverb, global chorus, or you can use this note. Now this is different. You don't get this in the other TNR-i TNR version. Okay, this is new to the TNR-e. Okay, so effect. Right, so if we play, we have two effects, XY controllers, and this one is set on filter. And this is delay. Now the very cool thing here now is you can kind of automate these effects to a degree, or you can get them to do cool things. So we have motion on, we can switch motion off if we want to. And let's turn it back on. Now we've got it going over 8 beats. Now watch what happens when you use your 2 fingers on the screen. Going over 16 beats. And let's set it over 4. And we can go down to 2 or 1. Or even half. And 116. 8's good. Now we're not just limited to do a delay or filter. If we hold delay and then just drag it up there, we have a filter, a decimator, flanger, noise, a looper, and an isolator. So like noise, for instance, it's like an effect. You can So there's the effects. You can have some real cool fun with the effects. Now you'll notice on the effects screen that there's these 2 little buttons here, because it's kind of meant for live play as well. You hit that, it'll just open it up for a second, see what you're doing. So that's cool. And we can just touch effects and we go back to our main screen. Now, like I said, there's various controls here. You have, this is the mixer. R4 is the mixer. So for instance, if this thing here is like the mixer, and it mixes the various layers in the block, if you like. So I know that like layer 2 is our drum kit. We can take that out and mix it back in. I know there's nothing on the top layers, so R4 is our block number, which we looked at before. Nothing in there, and then the drum kit. And then R1 is the layer number and what score it is. So this scrolls through your layers and it tells you what kind of play mode. Then you have your overall BPM, and you can do this by, or you can do it by this. So it'll take it up in 10s or 5/1 beats. Middle one is master transpose, so obviously we can go. And I'll lay them, oops, sorry about that, I'm going to check that's okay. Our L controls here are basically for our layer controls, but it means left. So that's your instrument again. You can see that we're on layer 5 and it's a percussion kit which we can change. So the sound length, the octave, so we can change the octaves of whatever layer we're working with. And then the loop speed, now like again a loop speed I showed you at the beginning, but that is just per layer. And then the loop points, which I showed you as well, which you can get them kind of stuttery effects going on, and they're saved per layer. Okay, there's only one more thing to go through really now. So let's go back to our menu and go back here and here. Now this is our file menu here. Now if I want to save, the most important thing is if I want to save everything that I've just done before I do anything else, and not forgetting about autosave, saying I want to start to work on a complete new track. Okay, but I want to save that. I'll maybe work on that later. So we can hit this and go to our file menu again. Sorry, all blocks again. I'm going to tap the plus button here, sorry, and I'm going to name this TNR fixed, so that I can work on that now. And I'm going to get rid of, I'm going to leave that now because they may be slightly different. Go back here now. Now go to all blocks here. Sorry, no, we don't need to do this. What we need to do is go to our edit menu. Now this is where it gets complex. So edit menu, you want to start with when you want to start a complete new thing from blank, and we want to hit here, clear all blocks. Okay, and it's done, and we're ready to start to build our session up. So what I'm going to do is quickly just go to block number 1 here, and then I'm going to go to layer 1 and play and start to add some bits. Just add them in. We'll add a basic 4-beat thing going on there. Make it a bit quicker. Just add bits and pieces. Let's change our kit to something else. And R1 here, let's go to layer 2, which we know is a score. So layer 2 is score, and we know that's trans kit. Well, we don't want trans kit anymore, do we? Let's try something else. Oh yeah, that's if you have got a brilliant memory, you can memorize all the sounds that are in that block we looked at earlier for the sounds. I don't even know what this sounds like. Okay, so we put a chord there. Now, okay, so I want a new block, for instance, so I'm happy with that for block 1. Okay, so where we are here, we know we're on block 1 here. So we want to copy what we've got on block 1 to another block, which I showed you earlier. So we've got our edit menu here, and no, that's not the one we want. You see how difficult it can be. So I'm going to let me just find this. No. See, it confuses me now. Edit menu. Right. Yes. Copy this block, which is that, and we want to copy. Oh, sugar. And we want to copy it to. There we go. Copy it to block 2, and we're on block 2 now. So, and let's go to layer 3, which is a trans ARP. And back to block 1. And one last thing, like I said, this is explains how the autosave works. Let's just get rid of that now completely. So that's closed. When I open it back up now, it will be exactly what I've just been working on. And this is a great way because, you know, otherwise you will get confused and will lose work. It's that simple. But you can get a heck of a lot out of this. So let's go to, there it is. And it'll just start playing. And it's linked to the Game Center as well for some reason. Other things you can do, you can set up a session with other people around the world, loads of different things. But it's a deep, complex program and can get a little bit confusing. Even I've been working with it for a couple of days now to do this video, and it still gets a bit confusing. But the most important thing is it gets very upsetting when you've worked on loads of stuff and you all of a sudden press the wrong thing and it all goes away and you can't get it back. All right, guys, hope you've enjoyed this. Press like if you liked it, subscribe to the channel, go and visit the website www.soundtestroom.com. Support us if you can, different ways to do that. All right, guys, hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you later.